The other day, on a flight back to Bali, I had the pleasure of sitting next to a couple on the plane, husband and wife, and we struck up a great conversation and got to know them quite well and, and enjoyed their company. Anyway, we caught up through the week and had dinner with them. They live in a little town. Well, it's not really a little town, but it's a town that's out of Adelaide, probably about an hour and a half's drive, called Murray Bridge. It's a really nice little place. It's on the way heading out towards Sydney and Melbourne. If you were to travel by road, you head that way. We caught up and had dinner with them, as I said, on the beach, and it turns out that it is really funny how the synergy between people sometimes is really there in more ways than what you realise. We struck up a great conversation, and our lives were not very different in the way that we'd gone about things, which was quite surprising. We both worked in a bank many, many years ago together. We didn't know each other. There is a possibility that I may have been at one of the branches when he was working there, but we can't establish that. But it's interesting how our paths have taken similar directions in what we've done, but completely achievements are totally different. They have a very successful business there in Murray Bridge, and they were just shooting over to get some chill time, which completely understandable. But we started talking about a number of different things, and we were talking about the fact we worked in the bank, and he said something to me. He posed a question to me that actually really hit like a nerve or a light bulb moment. If you may describe it as a light bulb moment more than a nerve, and it's something I'd never really thought about before. And he said to me, what if you hadn't done and made all those decisions that you did as you moved along in life? Would you be where you are today, and would you have the success and done what you've done today? And that made me stop and think. I'd never thought about that before, but it's an interesting question. And and the reason I say that is there was another guy that worked in the bank who I knew very, very well. I saw him 2 years after I left, and he was still working in the bank. And I said to him, how's it going, Bob? How are you finding it? And he said to me, I hate this. I just hate this job. I can't stand it. I said to him, well, what the hell are you still doing here then? And he said, well, I don't know what to do. There's nothing out there, so I just hang around in here. And it really made me think about that the other night, about the fact that how many of us are hanging around in jobs and roles we really, really hate. Like, my God, they drive us nuts. And we're hanging around because we think there is no other objective there, or no other possibility that we can do something different. When I left the bank, I bought a lawn mowing round. Now, it wasn't what I really wanted to do, but I had to work, I had a family, like we all do. But I did it for about a year and a half, then got an opportunity to go and work somewhere else for a great, great company in the fashion industry that sold men's and women's shoes. They were a very high profile company, and at the top end of fashion, they loved their fashion. So I went and worked for them, had an absolute ball, loved it. It was a great, great time, and it was certainly better than cutting lawns. And then I moved on to other things and changed roles and made decisions to go and do different things. And as I said, I thought about what he said to me, is if I hadn't have done that, if I hadn't have made that initial move, I could have still been stuck in that bank, and I would not have done and seen and achieved the things that I have in my lifetime so far. And I'm very blessed to be able to have done all the things that I have. But I pose a question to you. Have you really lived your life to the fullest, and have you achieved everything that you want to achieve? Or have you settled for mediocrity and just being in the same position you're in? because you don't have to. There are so many opportunities in life. You may not make the first one, might not be the one that turns out to be the be-all, end-all, but it is going to lead you on a path to find other opportunities. But you know what? If you don't leave, you'll be like Bob, just waiting for something to come along and smack him in the mouth and say, here I am. And that's not how life works. Life's not a flat road. There's ups and downs. I had ups and downs when I moved, but the thing was, when I look back now, as was posed to me the question the other night by this couple, it made me realise I've had a fantastic time. Something that I would never have had if I stayed there. Drop me a comment below if this resonates with you. And if you'd like to get some other information from me about how you can change your life and live your full potential and fulfill those things you'd love to do, drop me a note and I'll get some out to you.